Get the job done. Get it over with. She's gonna have a baby soon. Get the job done.
From Ray Caruth's chilling drive-by murder against his own girlfriend and unborn child, to Terrell Owens meeting his son at 17 just to say too late, we're exposing the league legends seriously hated by their own kids. Let's dive in. Terrell Owens. Now, if you know football, you know Terrell was a literal beast on the field. 5 times All-Pro, Hall of Fame, the whole 9 yards. But when it comes to his parenting stats, yeah, it's not looking great. Owens has 4 children with 4 different mothers, and he has been accused of neglecting them both financially and emotionally. It gets worse. He reportedly didn't even meet his son Tariq until the kid was 17 years old. And get this, when they finally met, Owens allegedly told him it was too late to be a father. Even though Terrell was earning millions, he faced major legal heat for refusing to pay child support. Tariq eventually tried to follow in his dad's footsteps in the NFL, but he has publicly distanced himself from his old man. Over on social media, fans have no chill, frequently labeling him a deadbeat dad. Now let's move from emotional neglect to some seriously scary allegations. Greg Lloyd Sr. If you thought Terrell Owens was a tough watch, Greg Lloyd Sr. is on a whole other level. This 5 times Pro Bowl linebacker was known for being one of the meanest players in the league, but that tough guy energy apparently followed him home in the worst way possible. Lloyd allegedly stuck a gun in his teenage son's mouth, Greg Lloyd Jr., during an argument. You heard that right, a literal gun. Understandably, this led to a total distance between him and his son. His son, Greg Lloyd Jr., actually made it to the NFL for a bit and has been very vocal about the abuse and the lack of any real relationship with his father. It wasn't just his son either. Lloyd Sr. was also arrested for threatening his wife with a firearm. The internet does not forget, and social media threads are packed with people calling him out for his terrible parenting. You'd think the drama would peak there, but our next legend actually had the entire sports world in a chokehold back in 2014 over his parenting style. Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is a name every NFL fan knows. He's a Hall of Fame and a former MVP. But back in 2014, his reputation took a massive hit when he was indicted for child abuse after whipping his 4-year-old son with a wooden switch. This wasn't just a timeout gone wrong. The poor kid was left with welts and bruises. Peterson claimed it was just discipline like he had growing up, but the trauma it caused was undeniable. While the son hasn't really gone on in public to say, "I hate my dad," social media have basically canceled Peterson as a bad father. People assume there's a ton of hatred there because, let's be real, that's not something you just forget. As if physical abuse wasn't dark enough, this next case is legitimately one of the most chilling stories in the history of professional sports. Ray Caruth. Ray Caruth isn't just a name on a list. He's a straight-up villain in this story. In 1999, he literally arranged a drive-by murder of his pregnant girlfriend, Sharika Adams. Why? Because he wanted to avoid paying child support. Sharika Adams didn't survive, and their son, Chancellor Lee Adams, survived the attack but was born with cerebral palsy because of the trauma. Now, here is the wild part. Chancellor has actually publicly forgiven his father, but the rest of the family, not so much. The early reports and online discussions describe a deep, dark cloud of hatred. Caruth is widely considered one of the most hated figures in NFL history. Now, let's move to a situation where the family drama is a like-father, like-son cycle that went totally off the rails. Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor is arguably the greatest defensive player ever, but his family life has been a chaotic mess. Lawrence's son, Lawrence Taylor Jr., ended up being sentenced to 10 years for some really serious crimes. Taylor Sr. has said he was ashamed of his son's actions, but it's a two-way street. The reports indicate that the father and son are totally separated. It's hard to have a healthy bond when the dad has his own history of drug addiction and legal issues involving underage girls. If you look at social media threads about them, the term dysfunctional family comes up a lot. Speaking of famous sons falling from grace, this next Hall of Famer's relationship with his namesake is basically a tragedy in 2 acts. Kellen Winslow Sr. Kellen Winslow Sr. is a legendary tight end, but his son, Kellen Winslow II, became famous for all the wrong reasons. In 2019, Winslow II was convicted of and sentenced to 14 years in prison. Winslow Sr. did not hold back. He publicly distanced himself from his son, expressing massive shame. While a lot of the hate seems to come from the father toward the son's actions, online discussions suggest there's a lot of hatred going the other way too. Apparently, Winslow Jr. felt a lot of pressure to live up to his family's name, and that pressure may have played a role in his downfall. Their relationship is a mess and seems completely broken. But not every family feud ends in a courtroom. Sometimes it plays out right in front of us on social media. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is the king of main character energy, but that doesn't always sit well with his family. During his messy 2012 divorce with Pilar Sanders, Deion was literally tweeting photos of his kids to prove he had custody. It was peak messy celebrity behavior. Even though his sons, Shiloh and Shadur, are currently defending him, the public nature of their family feuds has led to a lot of side-eye from fans. A lot of people on X and social media criticize Deion for being an overbearing dad who pushes his kids way too hard to maintain the Sanders brand. If you think Deion Sanders is intense, wait until you hear about the absentee issues of one of the NFL's most beloved quarterbacks, Brett Favre. Brett Favre might be the gunslinger on the field, but off the field, his reputation is complicated. His daughter Brittany has hinted at feeling a lot of hatred over the years because he was always gone for football. And let's not forget the scandals. The allegations and the fact that he cheated on his wife definitely strained the family vibe. Social media users aren't shy about calling him a terrible person whose selfish priorities really hurt his relationship with his kids. But being absent is one thing, extreme parenting is another, and the next NFL player is the textbook definition of it, Marv Marinovich. You might not know the name Marv Marinovich, but you definitely know the cautionary tale of his son, Todd. Marv literally tried to build the perfect quarterback by overtraining Todd from the day he was born. We're talking no sugar, no cartoons, just football drills. Todd has since come out and called the whole experience torture. This overparenting led to Todd having major drug issues and his NFL career ending almost immediately. Social media unanimously label Marv as the worst sports dad ever. Finally, we're ending on a legend whose rock star lifestyle left his kids feeling like they were just an afterthought, Andre Rison. Last but not least, we have Andre Rison. Bad Moon. Rison was a beast at wide receiver, but he's been hit with multiple allegations of neglecting his many children. His lifestyle was super volatile, and this led to major separation from his kids. His children reportedly resent his financial irresponsibility and bad boy image, leaving them feeling left behind while he chased fame. It's crazy how some of the biggest stars can have such messy personal lives. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the suggested videos on your screen right now for more amazing content.